Hi everyone, today I will talk about breaking the hash. So let me remind you what is the hashing. Hashing is a technique often used to secure passwords, among other things. So instead of keeping your secret word in the plain text for everyone to see, it stores a 32 character code, and this code is commonly called a hash. As you know, the password in a computer system are hashed using encryption. So this function is a one-way function, which means that this can be decrypted. So whenever a user enters a password, this password is converted through a hash function and compared to the hash that is already stored in a database. So if it matches, the user is authenticated successfully. To crack a hashed password, you need to know, as an ethical hacker, how to do that. So the only thing that you need is generated rainbow tables for different hash algorithms. Now let's see what is a rainbow table. A rainbow table is a database that is used to gain authentication by cracking the password hash. It is like a dictionary of plaintext passwords and of course their corresponding hash values that can be used to find out what plaintext password produces a particular hash. Since more than one text can produce the same hash, it's not necessary to know what the real password really was, as long as it produces the same hash. So how does the rainbow table attack work? A rainbow table works by doing a cryptanalysis very quickly and very effectively. Unlike brute force attack, which works by calculating the hash function of every string present with them and calculating their hash value and then compare it with the one in the computer at every step. The rainbow table attack eliminates this need by already computing hashes of a really large set of available strings. That's why you will need a really large amount of storage to store the rainbow tables. So starting off with the password, the hashed plaintext, it is checked if it exists in the database. If so, it proceeds with the start of the chain and start hashing until there is a match. As soon as the match is obtained, the process ceases and the authentication is cracked. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages and the advantages of the rainbow table attack, because as ethical hackers you need to know both of them. Let's start with the disadvantages. Like I said, with all the values already computed, it's simplified to just a simple search and compare operation on the table. And if you remember, the second disadvantage is the large amount of storage that is required to store all the tables. So here we are talking about several terabytes. The advantages here are the exact password string isn't needed to be known, if you remember. So if the hash is matched, it doesn't matter if the string isn't the password itself. It will be authenticated. And the second advantage is that, like I said, unlike the brute force attack, the problem isn't performing the hash function. With all the values that are already computed, it is very simple to just do a simple search and compare operation on the table. The last step here is to know the defense against rainbow table attacks. So the rainbow table attacks can easily be prevented by using salt techniques, which is a random data that is passed into the hash function along with the real plain text. This ensures that every password has a unique generated hash enhance. So the rainbow table attack, which works on the principle that more than one text can have the same hash value, is prevented. Let me tell you another technique that helps prevent precomputation attacks. This is the key stretching. So using the key stretching, the salt, the password, and some, let's say, intermediate hash values that are run through the hash function multiple times to increase the computation time required to hash each password. An alternative approach called key strengthening extends the key with a random salt, but then, unlike in key stretching, securely deletes the salt. This forces both the attacker and the legitimate users to perform a brute force search for the salt value. Therefore, there is no point of bypassing salting. This is for today's video, breaking the hash. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.